scam you guys.
You've got a large disregard for the dollar.
I said that? Wow.
Yeah.
I'm proud of me.
Yeah. I've got bread all over me. It was just... I was just...
because money in and of itself, and we all know this, but I'm going to say it yet once again for everyone who's never thought it or heard it before. You know, the money in itself is just another trap, and it's just it's just another thing that's guarded by some demon that has some personality that makes you behave like it, you know?
Right.
But, you know, as far as access to tools and materials for using as weapons of great art, you know, that's a different story. I mean, you know, it's like you have to be able to get access to the materials, and that's what I really want. I want just, you know, enough availability of resources so that I could put my gifted mind to work,
right.
instead of, like, you know, just, you know, bashing my head against the wall or you know, being in Hollywood and being a burnout. It's just ridiculous. Anything like that, I'd much rather be doing something that really, I think, has meaning.
Yeah, I was just wondering, as far as the commercial end of music goes, I do want to talk to you about, you said your interesting mind, you've got a great capacity for the technical end,
right,
of music,
and then also wacky theories. But
right,
I don't know what.
Right. Yeah. I really want to get into that. And right now.
But one more thing.
One more thing.
Yeah, just because this didn't answer your question before, but it will now. You know, as far as the aspect of commerciality, it's a really funny thing that I really am kind of torn between two opposing forces. One says too hard, be
right.
Who cares?
Yeah.
And the other one says, you know, just go for the throat and, you know, sing it from the gut, and nobody will think that you're, you know, a creep for doing that, you know, and it can be commercial as well, you know. If you have integrity, it's there no matter what. So it's like I'm very serious about commerciality, and yet at the same time, I mean, like, everything that I do belies that interest.
Yeah. There's that seems you're torn between you want to make something commercial that'll hit a stream,
right?
That'll bring something back to you, yet you still want to be
I want to present
aesthetically pure.
I want to present a new formulation of commercial for the next however many years or whatever. Like, here's my idea of what it should sound like, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's like I go for the hooks and the, you know, tight verse chorus type of relationship in a song, and, you know, real catchy little lines and stuff. But that's just because I like to do that anyways.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
What did you think of? What's your honest opinion of Johnny? Are You Queer?
I loved that song. I thought it was great. You know, I thought it was really funny. I was concerned that some people should take it personally and get their feelings hurt. And, you know, I know from Bobby and Larry, who wrote the song and who now manage and produce, mostly the productions on the Josie Cotton records, you know. And they're all really, really just conscientious people, you know, with a lot of wisdom and understanding, and, you know, kind of sharp sense of humor. So, you know, I thought the song was pretty cute because I knew that it, you know, was, you know, not done with any intent to be in bad taste or anything, you know.
Right. Okay. All right, let's get back to some music here.
I mean, the guy gets the guy in the song. I mean,
a happy ending, right? Yeah. Okay, we're going to listen to Practicing Mice right now.
All right.
And this is KLA Los Angeles, the Alternative Music Show. I'm your host, Mark Glasser, and we've got an interview here with Geza X. More with Geza after this. Little change of heart here. We'll be listening to Funky Monsters, Practicing Mice. I promise you we'll be next, though.
Here come the monsters to the haunted house. Here come the monsters, they're checking it out. They see the dancing, and it makes them mad. They hear the music, and it gets them mad. Get yourself an army.
Hi. I already told everybody I was a wimp. Public service announcement for UCLA helpline, 30-second spot. Don't forgive the pizza. Loneliness, depression, suicidal feelings, a problem relationship. Hey, wait a minute, this is serious. VD. Shut up, Bobby. Somebody who has suicidal feelings at this moment may be listening and just wish there was a friendly voice on the other end. Loneliness, depression, suicidal feelings, a problem relationship, VD, an unplanned pregnancy, sexual assault, and alcohol or drug abuse, are all problems that people struggle with every day. If you're dealing with one of these problems or another unsuccessfully, please call the UCLA helpline
What's that number?
825-HELP from 8 to 12 p.m.
Half your band
except on
just walked
Fridays and
out.
Saturdays. And when the helpline is staffed till 1 a.m., that's 825-HELP. Special thanks to UCLA Good Grammar course for the run-on sentence. Do I do another one?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Lamel's number 606, KLA, live copy. A truly remarkable film. Night of the Shooting Stars is now shooting exclusively at a Lameless Royal Theater. I can't believe they said that.
Oh, can I read one of those? I got a great DJ voice.
Shut up! Night of the Shooting Stars was a special prize winner at this year's Cannes, pronounced Cannes Film Festival, and is the official Italian entry for Academy consideration. Just go get the beer, okay? As best foreign film. Renowned film critic Pauline Kael says, Night of the Shooting Stars leaves you feeling euphoric. It's so good, it's thrilling. While Newsweek magazine writes, Night of the Shooting Stars is a marvel, a stirring, beautiful film. See Night of the Shooting Stars now exclusively at Lameless Royal Theater on Santa Monica Boulevard, 5 blocks west of the San Diego Freeway. If this is a paid ad, I'm very sorry to the Lamel's Royal Theater or whatever it is.
Applaud now.
Okay, go for it.
Hey! All right, it's 6:45, and we're eating pizza now.
Well, since we've allowed you to hear their voices, we may as well
Oh, why don't you introduce
you to
the
the
band?
new band.
Oh.
This is a real band.
Come on, guys,
I
be
used to just
stars
borrow
now.
people from other bands, but they turn out to not stick around for very long. So I set out to create a new and true and lasting and band of many merits.
That's where we come in.
Yeah, because I couldn't do it, so Bobby had to do it.
You help.
Yeah, well, I was at home, spun out of my mind, and not being able to get it together for rehearsals. Bobby said, come on, old man, don't you want to come back?
Yay!
So,
The gray hair's moving in quickly.
really, so, my mouth full.
Dial 845-HELP.
Help! So, these two geeks showed up.
Shut up.
God, thanks, Geza.
That's a compliment coming from you.
That's about as good as it gets. This gentleman, of course, being the interviewer and we the interviewee.
Really,
he is not a geek.
Yes, yeah.
He's a way cool
That's
dude.
true.
Way cool. Very cool. Borderline,
Okay, why don't we everybody
borderline
introduce
rad,
them?
maybe.
Oh, so what I
we'll
was
never get to it.
basically what I was getting at was that I who is poor at does poor at introductions, shall now introduce the first two members of my band, Bobby and Cole.
Hi, kids.
Hi. It's too bad we're not on TV because you should see Bobby.
Okay, now you guys can go outside again.
Okay.
No, you go outside.
Okay. Yeah, let me go outside and let them answer.
We'll handle the business
Answer the difficult
aspect.
forthcoming psychology questions.
Psychedelic dream, that's what it's all about.
Okay, now we're getting
So-
serious. No, shh.
Okay.
So you're the bass player.
I'm the bass player. Yeah.
How did you
and
just figure that
Bobby,
out?
like,
Because
he
you were
introduced
standing.
himself earlier.
My name is Bobby.
The drummer sits, the bass player stands. I got
Bobby's the drum player. All right.
I cracked 4 jokes in a row. Is anybody laughing?
Really?
I'm
Are
sure they
you laughing out there?
Oh, what I did want to do was tell everybody that the number here is 825-8300. If you have
And I
any,
will answer the first 10 calls.
And I'll answer the second 10.
if you have any pertinent questions, or even if you
Doing a
have
trip to Mountain High Holiday Hill.
right. Courtesy.
On major, not mountain
Roads.
roads.
I just started a napalm fire.
You're lighting the studio on fire.
Oh, sorry.
Napalm. No, it's not you,
Napalm.
Cole. You have a guilty conscience, don't you understand?
Yeah, I'm really good.
Not everything is your fault. You can pour some of that in here. And then
There's
it'll work.
nothing in here. I
I'm
pulled this-
sorry. He said I'm sorry twice
I
in
know. I pulled this
less
out of the
than
garbage can.
15 seconds. That sounds like me or something.
Anyway, you want to talk serious?
Pull it out of the garbage can. Okay, well then it's all right. I guess you can keep it.
We're gonna
Let's get down to serious business here.
yeah, ask some serious questions and we'll be right back.
All right.
Give all the cute girls my phone.
Oh, I went to Stanford anyway, so if you guys go to UCLA, nah.
So anyways, the main reason that they're in the band is because they're so courteous.
I see. I see. Funny that's just too
About this
obvious.
fire that just started in my eye.
What are you
Get
doing?
out of here! I just started a fire in my eye and I'm really embarrassed. I don't want you guys to see me like
We're
that.
gonna get the fire marshal in
Can't
here
do
in a
this stuff
second.
behind closed doors. We need the taped in music coming in.
Yes, but you know what happens? Everything feeds back, and then
It's
he has to
still
turn
on?
down the microphone, and then I don't get to be as loud as I was.
It'll be plenty loud.
Okay, Bobby, you're allowed to be in here for a minute.
For a minute.
Stay in here as long as I want.
All right, then sit down, Attitude Master.
Great.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby is funny, so he's allowed to stay for a while, I think.
I think.
If anybody doesn't want him here anymore, just call. What was
First
that
time,
number?
825-8300.
825-8300.
First time he tells a bad joke, he's out.
Why did the gays across the road?
Okay. Next question.
Well, I'll tell you what. Our tape's running out in the other room. We want to get
Oh,
as
we
much
can't
as
allow that to
we want to
happen.
get as much of the interview on as possible. So we're gonna play. We're gonna play practicing mice now. I
See, we
think.
like to be vain and then
No,
go
we
back
aren't. We're gonna
afterwards and
play-
hear us.
We're gonna play I Hate Punks. Now.
Right.
So, this is I Hate Punks, right?
Go get him,
Go get 'em.
killer.
All right.
I hate them too.
James Honeyman Scott, The Pretenders. You're listening to KLA at UCLA.
Thank you, sir. Oh, but I'd rather not be Hungarian. If I had my choice, I would rather be Bulgarian or Yugoslavian than be Hungarian. Oh, no, not Hungarian. Oh, no, not Hungarian. Oh, no, not Hungarian. 'Cause Hungarians each a their firstborn son. Hungarians are worse than anyone. So thank you, sir. Oh, but I'd rather not be Hungarian. If I had my choice, I would rather be Bulgarian or Nigerian than be Hungarian. Oh, no, not Hungarian. Oh, no, not Hungarian. Oh, no, not Hungarian. 'Cause Hungarians have an IQ of 6. Hungarians, their pets teach them tricks. No thanks. know because I've been one Hungarian.
But if I had my choice, dear God, darlings, do you wish to them?
I would rather take a bitch and you be one and be Hungarian. Hungarian, not Hungarian. Hungarian, not Hungarian. Hungarian, not Hungarian.
Because I'd rather be anything, anyone, burger, bun, priest, none, anything, but not
All right. Well, we're back here at KLA Los Angeles with Geza and myself and Bobby the drummer, the funny one of the group. And we just heard...
Go ahead, say something.
Hi.
Hi.
My real name's Bobby Wave.
And we just heard Hungarian, and before that we heard... what did we play? Oh, I Hate Punks.
Finally.
It's,
Before that, there was a 5-minute time lag.
due to my ineptness at the board. I hate... I Hate
Or
Punk.
I Hate Punk. They're both songs of resentment.
Yeah, I Hate Punk. Is that Mean Mr. Mommy Man talking in that one also?
I Hate Punk?
Yeah.
See, Mean Mr. Mommy Man is this character, basically, that, just evolved out of, my sick brain, I guess. But, it's just this not real well-defined thing of a bad thing that could happen to little kids or something, And I Hate Punk is just, really just, basically running down every single thing that has happened to me that's gotten me kicked out of apartments and in trouble, from 1977 to the present, I guess. It's,
All right. The other one we heard, Hungarian. Let's talk
You
about
asked
your
if that was
background.
directed at
Yeah,
my
I asked that
parents.
it was directed at your parents, who you told me were Hungarian immigrants. You were brought up strict Catholic upbringing.
right.
That included the parochial schools and whatnot.
Parochial schools, uniforms, and not only that, but my parents insisted that I talk Hungarian in the home at all times. So it was like there was a real cultural barrier of sorts that was kind of just created out of that situation. So basically, I had like the perfect childhood.
What? Yeah. What? There you go, Bobby. What went wrong? What? Was there?
What went
Was there
wrong?
something that changed it? What?
No,
Is it-
I was saying the word perfect with big quotation marks on it. You know how you put little horns on words to show that you're kidding?
Right. Right.
Well, that's what happened there. I'm lost. Where were we? My parents. Oh,
we were
yeah.
talking about your parents.
Oh, yeah. No, it was just circumstances in the war and everything like that. I have a tendency to be more forgiving now that, I realize what stress can do to an individual.
Yeah.
But, they really were displaced all of a sudden, and they were real poor, and my mother had plans to, be a singer and an actress, and evidently she had quite a bit of talent, and it all just, got, turned into jello or something for her, so she took out a lot of her resentments on her immediate environment, namely her family, and it just didn't really, result in a very good set of circumstances. But a lot of these things are better in retrospect when you realize that that's how the metal is sharpened and made strong or something, is by intense agony or something.
Yeah.
I say or something a lot, don't I?
That's okay. Have you ever heard a football player talk? You can hear him on interviews. Every once in a while
Don't
they throw
say
a word
stuff
in.
like hup and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do your... Okay, I was reading that in your early teens you were a draft resistance counselor.
there'll be people doing that again pretty soon. Yes, at age 12 I worked for the Vietnam Day Committee, which operated out of Westwood Village.
So if there's any CIA agents listening, now's the time to nab me. That we, you know, I used to just go there and hang out, you know, because I was looking for some place to be cool or something. But I went there and I really liked what they were doing, and I wound up just being at the office a lot. So a lot of times when people were out, I, you know, started answering questions for people on the phone and stuff. And I found that at about age 13, I was a pretty competent little draft resistance counselor. So I worked with them in various offshoots, like the Peace Press and such, sprang out of that. This was all in the 60s. When UCLA was on strike, I worked in this very building at the Nighttime Strike Center. It was funny. It's like there used to be all these stories about, you know, how college kids would go to high schools and act as outside agitators to get the kids all communist or something. But in my case, it was the other way around. I used to ditch high school to come here. I went to Uni High to come here and spray paint big red fists on the backs of people's clothes. I suppose that dates me.
That dates you. Would you consider yourself rebellious?
Well, it's really funny because I was a very, very cooperative, good-natured, obedient little kid. However, circumstances were not real favorable to me, and so I wound up, you know, having to take a stand for everything I believed in, and I found that I believed in everything that was contradictory to the way the world was run, and it still am to this day. So I suppose that qualifies as rebellious. I was certainly pegged as incorrigible after being kicked out of school and shit.
Speaking of getting kicked out of school and shit,
we can say that this cable, huh?
Yeah. You don't seem to be able to hang around into bands very long.
No, they don't hang around into me.
That's a good way of looking at it.
What happens is that oh, Bobby, I love you. It's okay. You can stay.
Bobby's seeing his whole career flashing before his eyes.
But see,
It came today and went tomorrow.
believe it or not, until from 1970 until the present, this is my first real band. And what I used to do was in the race to avoid discovering myself, and in the dance that we all seem to do to avoid knowing ourselves, I came up with every possible detour to just going directly for the jugular and really, really, you know, singing and behaving the way that I wanted to. And part of this process was putting together bands in 2 days to play, like, you know, big dates like the Whiskey and stuff, which always seemed to work out well because of the caliber of musicians, you know. Don from X used to play with me, and Paul Rossler from Nina Hagen and Twisted Roots and whatever they're called now, I think it's Twisted Roots, played with me. These people are all excellent musicians, and it was really a pleasure for me to be able to, like, you know, come up with challenging and interesting stuff for them to do, because I saw that was one of the reasons they enjoyed doing it, you know, was to, you know, find some way to stretch their musical capabilities. And they taught me a great deal in the bargain. I suppose I have to say that, otherwise it's not fair. Yeah. What was the question?
It's okay, you answered.
I think I've forgotten it. Let's talk a little bit about the music. What? A little friend of ours. What am I trying to ask you here? Your
Pets.
Pets? You want to talk about pets?
No, go ahead.
Let's save pets for later. Pets is really interesting. A lot of people consider you the horns around the word forefather of punk rock in LA.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I don't mind that. I am 30 years old, my God. I'm big, but I'm little. Every year I go, fuck, I won. It's okay. I'm still fine.
Yeah. All right. What? How would you classify your music?
Well, there's a large difference between my music on that record and the music that's going to be on the next record. You know, there will be some of the neuro epics, but there's going to be a lot more of the kind of just, proud and direct, straightforward type of social commentary, or something that it sounds so hocus pocus to say it, but things that I believe in other words.
I have it. Oh, there we go.
Oh, it's the headphones.
Some more feedback. Feedback left and right here. Let's get those out here. We were talking earlier about about Brian Eno and Frank Zappa. Are there any people who are real big influences musically for you?
Well, the business hip thing to do would be to say, of course not, but that wouldn't be really the truth either. I was pretty fascinated with Frank Zappa for his first 2 albums, and I was little then, so it was okay. And the Velvet Underground and all that stuff, and Blue Cheer, bands like that came out with a thunderous wall of noise, and then go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's his name?
Hangs around here all the time.
A thunderous wall of noise, and I must say that when I discovered that there's such a thing as loud guitars, and that they sound really, really bitchin', then I went out of my way to make loud guitars do that. What's your name? Okay. Glenn. All right, Glenn. Glenn's visiting us too for a while here.
Yeah.
So that's basically what I, did, was to try and master loud guitar, and then somewhere along the way I sort of stumbled across a way of coming up with this guitar sound that I'd been kind of fantasizing about ever since 1970 or so, which is to break the guitar notes into... You gotta go, Glenn, because it's distracting. Alright? No, really. This is my interview. Alright, I'm gonna keep talking. Why don't we play a song?
Alright, let's play a song, and then we'll be back to talk more about Geza and his music. And right now we're gonna hear, what do we got here? We Need More Power?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
There's a problem. We need more power. We need more power. We need more power. We need more power. Hey, extra, read it and read. The future's getting grim and life is getting cheap. Our ethics are shambles, our history is deep. We've got to make an evolutionary leap. There's a problem. We Angeles, KLA Los 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 Angeles. Oh boy, that felt good.
You goddamn kids, you think you've got it made. Who do you think you are, anyway?
Oh, no!
I see you on TV, always doing the Thorama.
No, it wasn't me. I swear. Ow, it hurts. Ow, I'm sorry. I didn't...
Well,
Wait a minute.
you ain't
Hey,
got...
what's going on? Mister, hey, let go of me.
I'm sorry.
It's gonna be like me.
I want
mine.
Mommy.
Setting up the powerful machines. I think I better act like I don't notice. Why are they spying on me? What happens when they start taking photos? Ha! Ha! The Baron is coming! The Baron is coming! The Baron is coming! You wanna kill me? You wanna kill me? Ha! Ha! The Baron is coming! The Baron is coming! The Baron is coming! I'm on TV! I'm on TV!
You goddamn kids.
I want mine. Mommy. They wanna kill me. They wanna kill me. The Baron is coming. The Baron is coming. The Baron is coming. I'm on TV. I'm on TV.
He's been studying too many Bill
Back here with Geza X and the Alternative Music Show at KLA. Come here, Carmen Apis, play the Symphonic drums. Okay, can you believe that? At the Federated Group on Olympic Boulevard in West LA. Also, he's playing at the West LA Federated on the 19th, which is today, right?
All right, let's we didn't know that was going on.
And he'll be going till 8 o'clock. So actually, the 19th's tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, today's the 18th.
Today's the 18th. Yeah. So that's
We're
tomorrow.
allowed to commit
That's Dave Rod.
Go down
So
there
that's
now.
that's from 5 to 8 tomorrow, and we'll be back with more with Geza and his band right after. Right, yeah, right after this word from high blood pressure.
High blood pressure is a chronic disease that affects over 1 million people in Los Angeles County. Undetected and untreated, high blood pressure shortens lives by causing stroke, heart, and kidney disease. Protect your health by regular blood pressure checks and taking your medicine every day if prescribed. Controlling your blood pressure can save your life. For more information, call 937-6334. A public service message of this station and the High Blood Pressure Council of Los Angeles.
Go ahead.
Oh. This is to inform you that you have just witnessed the entire Geza X album entitled You Goddamn Kids. This album is available from
That's how
your,
good it was.
Professional radio.
Shut up, Bobby!
He's talking.
From your nearest record depot, or that's not a store, that's like, you know, like any store.
They sell them at Music Plus on Vine Street. There's a whole bunch.
This is not Vine Street.
Well, it's close.
Or you may order the album by mail by sending $6 to Back Management, 8625 Santa Monica Boulevard, LA 90069. Now, the more $6 as you send me, the faster that I can buy equipment to control your minds with.
Great.
Paid brainwashing.
How long have you been with Bambi? Back to back?
About a year.
About a year?
Interesting that a year ago, we set up kind of what we were going to try and accomplish this year, and part of it was assembling the best mailing lists in the United States. I mean, bar none. We have everybody's name. We probably have your name.
Great.
And once you have everybody's names, all you got to do is be able to afford stamps.
Hence the $6.
Hence
So
the
the more
$6.
$6 you send me, the more weaponry I can amass in the better interests of humanity.
Okay, I want to bring up this bumper sticker now that's in the album. It
I was
says-
going to say, each album includes a complimentary bumper
sticker that says oddly enough, save us Geza. Do you consider yourself a savior type? That's easy for you to say. Do you consider yourself a savior type
Just
character?
put it like this. Geza, do you have any insights into why you put that on that bumper sticker? And then I'll say, well, somebody screamed it at the audience, from the audience one night, because as usual I was ranting and
Raving?
well, just ranting this time, but it was enough. And someone with a very good sense of humor said, "Save us, Geza, save us." I was doing
Was it a girl?
I was doing my 1980 the Attack of the World is Beginning rap, and this stresses the fact that inanimate objects are going to start like flying around and hitting you on the head and stuff if you don't watch out. But the fact, he says, I have no idea why I put that stupid bumper sticker in there, and I'm even more appalled when I see them on everybody's cars. Except Bobby's. Bobby's car's okay. He can have as many of them as he likes on his car.
I was telling our DJ here that I saw a bumper sticker just like the one you can get in the album in Paris, on the Champs-Elysees in a record store. They didn't know what it meant, but they thought it was really great.
So if you want to like spend $14, you can order it from Paris.
Right.
And get a designer bumper sticker.
Designer bumper sticker.
Le bumper sticker.
Great. Let's go back to your music before we had to.
That's
to
what I
stop
keep
to-
trying
to-
to do. If I just went back to my music in the first place, all of this would have never happened.
Right. Exactly. We talked about how you would classify your music. There's a lot of different strains that people have. I don't know if you consciously have labeled them, but a lot of the record magazines and such have. One of them I wanted to ask you about was cuckoo pop.
Cuckoo pop. Well, as usual, I deftly inserted this catchphrase into the hands of the media, from which they proceeded to make mincemeat of it. No.
Yes, as they always do.
And then Debbie Harry store it. My Chinese accent is coming back. Can I just give another no comment type answer?
Sure. That's fine. All right, let me ask you about X chords then. I think you started to get into that, and we went. I think we went haywire. I think that's where we were off the air.
Oh. As usual, whenever there's talk of X chords, entire radio stations go off the air. Fortunately, this is not an entire radio station, so it went back on again.
I had to say that. I wasn't even thinking it. I would also like to mention that I'm available for production and engineering on a freelance basis. You may contact my manager, Bambi Byrons, at 550-1216 during regular business hours. Thank you. What
We were talking
what
about
were you
X
talking
chords.
about?
Yeah, that's a good answer to X chords.
Well, it's like I want to talk about them, but then again, I don't want to just, put bad vibe after bad. X chords basically are a misnomer that I applied to some kind of a, what is it? A tritone? Do you know anything about music?
Yes.
Cole? Is it no, but what I mean is, do you know anything about music?
Yes.
That's like the study of the words of
Yes, what? Geza chords are
is that
tritonal.
Is that a flatted fifth or some such
Tritonal?
thing? Yeah.
Yes.
Because what it is two of them an octave apart, and it's real noisy. Is the point. And in the Middle Ages, people were persecuted and put to death if they even accidentally played one of those kind of dissonant-sounding chords. That particular interval was known as the Devil's Interval, so that everybody was convinced, because of course, as usual, the Catholic Church was scamming like crazy, and everybody was convinced that if they were even subjected to this particular note interval, that they would immediately invoke the devil and have to deal with that. So. Ever since I started playing X chords, I became friends with 45 Grave and
Beelzebub.
No, as a matter of fact, I haven't quite run across the devil yet, although a few months ago I started seeing some awfully strange things at my apartment. But see, I don't like the devil. And that gives me a tremendous fighting edge. I'm losing it.
Okay,
Keep going.
keep going.
The Devil's Interval is very interesting because it is probably the most dissonant-sounding thing that you can arrive at between two notes on the regular Western scale. And what's interesting about them is that these chords, instead of
Okay,
repeating...
I'm going to interrupt you here because we've got a rare phone call.
Oh
Hello?
my.
Hello? You're on the air. Who's that? Oh, it's Nate. It's Nate. This is our friend Nate. Nate? Hello? You have a question? Oh, you just called to bother us, huh? We were in the middle of a great conversation about X chords.
If you don't mind.
All right, man.
I didn't understand that.
That was a great phone call.
So,
Just
tell me.
keep them coming.
Tell me, how do you translate...
Our lines are open.
How do you go about translating between apples and pears like that?
It's amazing.
At any rate, the Devil's Interval, interestingly enough, repeats after 6 half steps instead of 12. So it's like there's twice as many possibilities for what you can fit in there notes-wise, so there's half as many chances to err. Therefore, more things sound good. It's just basically cheating and pretending you're playing jazz.
And it looks good, too.
It looks good.
It looks
too.
real good. It's like, ugh, see?
Okay, you started off
As a child.
As a child, right? You started off in a hospital. As far as the music industry goes, you were engineering for gospel and
I was engineering all sorts of
anything you get your hands on.
under
right?
the counter stuff. Well, what happened was these mariachi bands. The first studio that I worked at, I made an arrangement with the owner that I was going to put in another studio where he had an empty room that he was doing like rehearsals in, and I knew very little about carpentry, but he decided to, good way to scam my way into a studio, and it worked. See, anybody can do it. So I wound up sleeping there in the workshop for about 6 months, and during this time, I engineered every possible form of music, starting from the first day when the other engineer who lived in Ojai wasn't available, and the owner said, well, can you run the equipment? And I go, oh, sure. For like the next 6 hours, I sat there punching buttons trying to figure out where anything was. Just one thing, anyways, I wound up recording a whole bunch of gospel that way, which is just exactly how most gospel is recorded anyways. And the mariachi bands would just come flowing from south of the border, because in those days they didn't have very many good studios down there, and they were used to making deals with the engineers on the sly. They'd bring in a case of J&B, and everybody would, I suppose the word is drunk, would get real drunk and then attempt to record and play music. So this resulted in really cool songs like Born to Lose, and Now I'm Losing You, which was the first record I ever cut.
Yay.
But not the original version, the Mexican version. And I did a bunch of funk, which is how I understand how to intricately put together the most complicated jigsaw puzzle dash kite and then attempt to fly it. And so now I know how to cut funk too. Where did it get me?
What form do you enjoy recording most?
What type of music?
Yeah.
I really don't have that many preferences. I do like stuff that sounds really, really raw and loud, and then on the other hand, I like stuff that is like just really musically adventurous, like that that King Crimson type funk,
Right.
that's sweeping the nation.
Electro.
They stole everything they know from me. They saw me play and then they snuck my sounds.
You're really inventive as far as the technical end of
I'll say.
of it.
I'll say.
What anything we're gonna
I'm
be
already
seeing-
plotting evil for the drum kit.
He's phasing me out.
No, I'm phasing him in. I'm just gonna make him have to have about 3 more arms and about 2 more legs.
What are some?
So if you have any donations,
See, I told you he was funny. He said a joke. Good, Bobby. Here, shake.
Here's a treat, Bobby. What are some of the stuff you've come up with?
For new material of my own?
Right.
That was a very ambiguous question.
Oh yes, it was.
I have come up with any number of things. Are you talking about like
Gizmos.
what this band is
Gizmos,
playing?
yeah.
Oh, gizmos and effects.
As far as for instance, the headset mic.
Well, the headset mic I'm not using anymore because it sounds tacky. What I have to do is find a better capsule and put that inside there, and by that time I'll have given up. So, so instead I've devoted my attention to ruining the drum kit. And I've come up with this plan to use parts of the beat to trigger certain things that are either stored on tape or as synthesizer programs, or one of them little computers. And then the drummer can play all the music, and I can just stand around.
hence the other $6.
Right.
Right.
So send your
There's
money
$6
now.
more to buy all that stuff. World Conquest is nearby. I'll do it, I promise. I won't save you, but I'll try.
Back to the punk scene.
Were we ever there?
Well, we were talking about you being the father of punk, so-called.
Oh, okay. I just wanted. I have very
Granddaddy.
I have very few synapses left in my brain, so it's like you have to remind me when things harken back unto 5 minutes ago.
All right. Okay. Do you consider yourself punk?
Well, I suppose for lack of an alternative, yes, I cop to it. I am punk rock, epitomized. No.
He is the essence of punk.
Basically, I am a sissy, but I am rebellious too. I have made trouble everywhere I've gone for my whole life, whether I wanted to or not. And then there was the Mask, and that was the first punk club in LA, and they had a lot of shows there, and one of the first shows was this band called the Bags. The very first show was this band called the Germs, and then the week after that, this band called the Bags played. Well, I was in the Bags at the time, and the Bags wore bags over their heads. So anyways, I got kicked out of the band for having tampons on my bag. The 2 girls that were the Catholic goddesses of the band were disconcerted by the fact that I and the drummer at the time, Joe Nannini, who's now in Walla Voodoo, used cuss words and sometimes would become intoxicated with alcohol. So they kicked us out, and is it that bad? I was just trying to go into a trance. You know, starting to just listen to the sound of my voice.
Oh.
We're not allowed to play
You've
any
lost my
anime.
train of thought now.
Oh, okay, well then, anyways, they kicked me out of the band, and so I scammed a room off of Brendan and began to live at the Mask shortly thereafter, during which time I was probably stoned on alcohol about 95% of the time, and as a result I can remember nothing of those wonderful early days of punk, except that I used to get a lot of bruises on my elbows.
What really got you into this strain? Was there something that
Yeah, I was waiting for it
snapped-
forever. It was like it was the weirdest thing. It was like all through the 70s I was going, okay,
enough of this.
You've now you not only added insult to injury, but half of the United States is dead as well. You know, is there some way that those of us who I did the whole showcase circuit all around LA, all the folk clubs, because that's all there was singer-songwriters, and they did all of these shows for free in what was called showcases, and there's a whole circuit of these showcases that you could do, like the Troubadour and the Blah Blah. And the Songwriters Showcase, where they would evaluate your songs, and maybe record company people would even come and see them. And so, of course, I tried that, except my voice was loud and irritating, and my act was not quite comedy, so we can't put you on comedy night, and it's not really folk, so we can't put you on folk night. Well, you're basically a pretty talented guy, but we just don't know what to do with you, so go away. And so I went away, and waited, and waited, and waited, and all of a sudden, boom! Explosive force. Actually, the first band that came to the United States, to Los Angeles to perform this sort of music was a band called the Ramones, who could just barely even be considered punk rock anymore.
Right.
But at the time, it was like, wow, a loud guitar. I'll take it.
Yeah. Have you ever been to England?
Where's that?
Okay, answers that question.
West Coast, I think.
No, that's West Covina, isn't that where you're from?
Oh, West Covina. Yeah, I would like to say good things about West Covina.
Okay, now Cole's allowed to talk too, because...
Can I say some things? Well, I don't want to talk too loud because I don't want to get everything all distorted.
It's okay, Bobby's out of the room.
Okay,
Say anything you want.
Bobby, can you close the doors? So, I mean, Japanese music's really cool, but it kind of comes in.
Is that what they're doing out there?
Yeah, they're playing all this Japanese stuff.
That's
Anyway,
what
Bobby's
I'm
left.
talking
Bobby's gonna be quiet, and I'm gonna steal his seat because it's easier to get good views on this.
All right, but you will not steal a show, right?
No, because hell, I've only been in this band for less. I've been in this band for less than 2 weeks, and so I figure Geza
Far less.
not far less. But I figure Geza is entitled to pretty much say his piece, and I just.
And regardless of anything, he will anyways.
I just play the bass. That's really it.
Well,
I don't write anything.
he just plays the bass very well, which is a considerable advantage.
Yeah.
As far as, you know, I can't say it.
Sorry, Bobby, I stole your seat. Bobby's
Real
back.
stupid out there. Real stupid.
I know, there's weird things are going on.
That's because
Yeah,
you're
you
out
should
there.
see it. You'd probably be interested.
Okay.
Hey, guys, come on
I
down.
was just about to be mean to Cole, and you wrecked it.
No, he wasn't going to be mean. He was just,
Well, I want to ask him now. Let me ask you, what's it like working with him?
it's interesting. Let me
I don't mean
elaborate.
to put you on the spot or anything.
Okay, Gaza's going to leave, and I'm stuck. Hi, folks. I'm stuck in here all alone. I used to work at A&M Records, and I hope if anybody from IRS is listening, especially Jay Boberg, that you'll consider coming to the Roxy and signing this group, because I think Gaza's very good.
It's not petty grievances night.
No petty grievances. I'm just a friendly word of advice. I've known Geza very acquaintance-like for a long time and known who he is, but not really in anything more than somebody I see about every.
Say what he is, the fiber of the man.
Would you quit interrupting me? I'm trying to wax philosophical.
You've got to dial.
No, what's the phone number here?
825-8300.
Okay,
825-8300. Call us all. We're a lot of fun. Anyway, I've known Geza just barely, and we had a mutual friend, and I've been playing bass, and I went, like I told you before, I really did go to Stanford, and I was there, and I just graduated in 1982. And I played in some bands up there, like, that played the frat circuit, pretty much. And it was really fun, except we just played really boring music, and I wanted to come to LA and join a band that was playing something that was different and fun, and I wanted to play around the LA club scene. And so I played like the Keystone Palo Alto up there, which is the equivalent. The equivalent down here would probably be the Troubadour, kind of, which really isn't that exciting. But I wanted to come down here and play some interesting music, and it just so happened less than 2 weeks ago that Geza called and said, I need a bass player, as a matter of fact, immediately, which caught me very off guard, but ended up being very exciting, and it's... Bobby, shut up!
Wait, who called who?
No, you called me.
You called Joanne.
I called
driving records. Actually, Joanne called
Joanne.
me.
Joanne's the person Joanne's the person.
Well, you see, I used to live with Joanne a couple of years ago.
I've known Joanne for a long time,
and
so
like,
is
she's the
Geza,
nicest girl in the world. Now she's Bobby's girlfriend.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's a mutual friend because she cuts his hair. Get it?
Yeah,
she dies.
If you want
see, and
somebody's
she and I didn't
haircut,
see each
call
other
Joanne.
for a long
She's
time,
great.
and it was kind of funny. And then now she moved in to my house. I don't get it.
Yeah, because she got kicked out because she owns these cats.
And then she has lots of clothes.
Way too many clothes.
But she's so nice, and besides, Bobby likes her, and I like her.
She's a sweet girl.
She's
nice.
She's very nice.
So now that we said how nice Joanne
So
is.
hi, Joanne.
Anyway, Joanne's really nice, and that's how I got into band.
There's a song about her too. Come
yeah, he wrote a song.
Geza play.
Yeah. He sings this really good song about Joanne that's very ballad-like and very.
Ooh, is there an acoustic guitar? I should
Really? You should have brought it.
God,
shouldn't he have brought it?
Been like very soulful and sung.
Yeah.
But it's fun playing with Geza. He's very interesting. He writes very.
It's a very learned experience.
It's not learned. It's